You're staring at a glowing rectangle in the dark. 2 a.m. Your thumb hovers over the screen, refreshing a conversation that hasn't moved in 6 hours. The silence is loud. It's heavy. It's a physical weight on your chest. You think that if you just send one more text, the perfect text, the silence will break. You think that if you show her more of your value, she will finally see you. You are wrong, very wrong. The harder you chase, the faster the shadow retreats. The more you pour into the void, the more the void consumes you. Most men believe that attraction is built on effort. They believe interest is a result of pursuit. But today, the roles reverse. Today, we destroy the pursuit to find the power. Marcus Aurelius once wrote about the inner citadel. He didn't build it to hide. He built it so he would never have to beg. Begging for a reply, begging for attention, begging for a reason to feel like a man. You've been there. We've all been there. You've sent the long paragraph. You've checked the read receipt 50 times. You've let your entire mood be dictated by a series of pixels on a screen. This is not love. This is not attraction. This is emotional bankruptcy. In the next 15 minutes, I am going to show you why your silence is more magnetic than your words could ever be. I will show you how to apply the Stoic frame to the chaos of modern dating, a technique so potent that most men waste their entire lives never realizing they possessed it. We aren't talking about playing games. We are talking about reclaiming your soul. But before we dive into the first pillar, you need to understand the silent killer. It's a psychological trap that 99% of men fall into the moment they feel a spark. If you don't kill it now, it will kill every relationship you ever try to build. It starts with a simple ping, and it ends with your complete destruction. Let's begin. Your pulse quickens. Your palms are damp. You tell yourself you're being attentive, but the mirror sees a beggar. This is the silent killer, neediness. It's not just about a text message. It's a spiritual leak. You are bleeding out your masculine authority one "how was your day" at a time. Most men in the 21st century have been sold a lie. They were told that the more they give, the more they receive. They were told that vulnerability means handing your emotional car keys to a stranger and hoping they don't drive you off a cliff. That is not vulnerability. That is surrender. That is a total collapse of the inner citadel. Think about the last time you felt that sting of being ignored. Where did you feel it? In your throat? In your gut? That sting is your ego screaming because it has no home of its own. It's looking for a home in her eyes, in her smile, in her validation. Epictetus said it best. No man is free who is not master of himself. If your happiness depends on a like, you are a slave. If your peace depends on a reply, you are a slave. If your worth depends on her mood, you are a slave. Triple tragedy, triple defeat. We call this the mirror trap. You look at the world only to see how the world looks at you. You've stopped being the sun, the source of heat and light, and you've become a cold, dark moon, desperate to reflect someone else's light. And here is the psychological truth that most men hate to hear. You cannot attract what you are chasing. Why? Because chasing implies that the thing you want is running away, and it's running away because you've signaled that you are lesser, that you are incomplete, that you are hungry. Women have a biological radar for hunger. They can smell it through the screen. They can feel it in the way you stand. They can hear it in the silence of your overeager presence. But today, we stop the hunger. We move from the nice guy trap to the Stoic frame. You think the solution is to act tough? No. Acting is for the weak. We are going to rebuild the foundation. We are going to talk about the 3 pillars that turn a man from a desperate satellite into a gravitational force. But there is one specific pillar, the most controversial one, that will make 50% of people turn off this video right now. It's the pillar that separates the leaders from the followers. If you can't handle this next truth, you might as well go back to refreshing that screen. You want the secret. You want the lines. You want the magic words that bypass her logic and trigger her desire. But words are cheap. Silence is expensive. To build an attraction that doesn't evaporate after the first date, you must install 3 pillars into your soul. These are not hacks. These are the laws of the universe, written in stone by men who ruled empires while you're struggling to rule your text inbox. Pillar 1. Amor fati. Love your fate. Think about the last time a woman ghosted you, or told you she just wasn't feeling it. Most men treat this like a funeral. They mourn, they analyze, they beg the universe for a different outcome. The Stoic does the opposite. He loves the rejection. He doesn't just tolerate it, he welcomes it. Why? Because amor fati means realizing that whatever happens was meant to happen for your growth. If she leaves, she is clearing the path for something better, or for you to become someone better. When you truly love your fate, you stop being a victim. And there is nothing less attractive than a man who feels like a victim of a woman's choices. You've been there, haven't you? Trying to fix her mind? Trying to argue your way back into her heart? Stop. Love the silence she gave you. Use it to build your empire. Pillar 2. The dichotomy of control. Most men live in the external zone. They worry about, does she like me? Is she seeing someone else? Will she say yes? All of these things have one thing in common. You have 0 control over them. 0. The Stoic man draws a circle around his own mind. He only cares about his actions, his integrity, and his frame. He doesn't ask, how can I make her stay? He asks, did I act with honor today? When you stop trying to control her, you regain control of yourself. And ironically, the moment a woman feels that you don't need to control her is the moment she starts wanting to be near you. It's called the paradox of release. You must be willing to lose her to keep your soul. Pillar 3. Voluntary hardship. This is the most powerful and the most ignored. Modern life is soft. We have porn, junk food, and instant validation. Most men are slaves to comfort. A man who cannot say no to a cheeseburger cannot say no to a woman who is disrespecting him. Voluntary hardship means choosing the difficult path when you don't have to. It's the cold shower. It's the extra set in the gym. It's the decision to stay silent when your ego wants to scream. When you practice being uncomfortable, you build a masculine edge. It's an invisible aura of strength. A woman doesn't fall for your car or your clothes. She falls for the fact that you are a man who can govern himself. But here is the danger. If you apply these 3 pillars, you will change. Your friends will notice. Women will notice. But the world will try to pull you back into the nice guy trap. In the next part, we're going to look at the frame test, the exact moments where your stoicism will be tested by the people you love most. If you fail here, the first 3 pillars mean nothing. Are you ready to see if your citadel can actually hold? She looks at you. Her eyes are narrowing. She throws a comment, sharp, jagged, designed to draw blood. Maybe we should see other people, she says. Or maybe it's a simpler test. She goes cold for 3 days. Most men feel the panic in their throat. Their heart beats like a trapped bird. They reach for the phone. They explain. They apologize for things they didn't do. They try to fix the frame. They fail. You must understand this. A woman does not test you because she wants you to fail. She tests you because she hopes you will win. She is looking for the inner citadel. She is looking for the man who cannot be moved by her storms. This is the frame test. If you react, you lose. If you explain, you lose. If you get angry, you lose. Anger is just another form of neediness. It shows that her words have the power to change your internal state. It shows that you are not the master of your own house. The Stoic response is not a wall of stone. It is a vacuum of silence. Think about the physical reality of a man in control. His breath is deep. His hands are still. He doesn't lean in. He doesn't talk faster to fill the void. When she tests your patience, you give her space. When she tests your boundaries, you give her consequences, not lectures. She tests your silence to see if it's real. She tests your focus to see if it's firm. She tests your leadership to see if it's earned. Triple pressure, triple opportunity. Most men treat a woman's emotions like a puzzle to be solved. A Stoic treats them like the weather. You don't get angry at the rain. You don't try to negotiate with a thunderstorm. You simply put on your coat and continue walking toward your destination. That destination is your purpose. And here is the psychological reframe that will change everything. You are not ignoring her. You are valuing your own peace more than her chaos. That is not manipulation. That is human psychology. High-value individuals do not spend their emotional currency on low-value drama. But be warned. When you start holding your frame, the world will get louder before it gets quiet. People will call you cold. They will call you arrogant. But they will also respect you. We are approaching the final stage. The transition from a man who uses Stoicism as a tool to a man whose life is the philosophy. Because there is one final secret, a dark loop that most creators are afraid to talk about. It's the moment you realize that the ultimate power isn't in keeping her. It's in being okay with losing her. Let's talk about the ascension. Here is the dark loop, the secret that most dating gurus are terrified to tell you. The ultimate power in any relationship, whether with a woman, a business partner, or the world itself, belongs to the man who is most comfortable walking away. Read that again in your mind. It's not about how well you speak. It's not about how much you make. It's about the strength of your no. Most men use Stoicism as a shield to hide their weakness. They act indifferent because they are afraid of being hurt. But the true Stoic isn't hiding. He has simply realized that his inner citadel is the only territory that truly matters. You've spent years building someone else's empire, chasing someone else's ghost, waiting for someone else's permission to feel like a king. Stop. Your purpose is not a woman. Your purpose is not a reply. Your purpose is the relentless pursuit of the man you were meant to become before the world told you to be nice. When you reach this state, the ascension, something strange happens. You stop looking for attraction, and you become the source of it. You stop asking for respect, and you start radiating it. You are no longer a satellite. You are the sun. No more desperation, no more bargaining, no more fear. If you've made it this far, you are already ahead of 99% of the men out there. But remember, knowledge without action is just a sophisticated form of entertainment. If you want to master the Stoic frame in the real world, you need to know how to handle the silence of the greats. That is a topic for another time. For now, put down the phone. Look at the man in the mirror. Ask him one question. Who is in control? If the answer isn't me, you have work to do. The Citadel is waiting.